Use code. Boosting mode. It's the only thing that you need to know. What? Boosting mode.
Yo, MonkeyMan! What's up? What's up, MonkeyMan?
MonkeyMan! Oh, hey Dave. What's up?
What you up to, MonkeyMan?
I'm just working on some not so subliminal messages for our YouTube channel. Trying to get people to use that Apex code. Know what I'm saying?
What are you doing?
Bruh, have you seen our stats? You got like 2,000 views on a boring ass Bollinger Bands video, and I only got 100 views on my MonkeyMan Christmas music rap song. What the fuck? What's happening to this world? What's wrong with people?
I don't know why no one's watching the Christmas rap trading song. Maybe when baby Jesus comes back, people will start to get a fucking clue.
Bruh, you know that baby Jesus is all within inside your own body, right?
Yeah, I knew that.
You know that the whole Bible is just a roadmap for the inner workings of your own body.
Yeah, I knew that.
Your body is God's temple, okay?
That's right, MonkeyMan.
How many vertebrae you got? 33, that's right. You gotta run that Christ fluid all the way up to your third eye, you know what I'm saying?
Did you know that?
Did you know that?
Heck yeah, I knew that, MonkeyMan.
Yeah, I figured. Did you know that?
In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take an indicator like the Solar Wind indicator from Ninza or most other Ninza indicators and make a strategy out of it using Strategy Builder. Go to the Ninja Trader control panel, go to this little new icon, Strategy Builder. So we've got our Strategy Builder window. If you want to start a new strategy, you'll just click Next. I'm going to choose the strategy that I already have for the Solar Wind. So now you can choose a name for it or a description if you want. Click Next again. You get to the default properties. Do you want it to calculate on bar close or each tick? I'm going to leave it on bar close. Next, additional data, leave that blank. Next, inputs and variables. All I have is a profit and a stop. If I wanted to optimize and test some other parameters, this is where I would add them. So for the profit, you go to add, type in a name like profit. What do you want your default profit to be in ticks? If you want 30, 20, 10, that's fine. For the minimum, you leave at 1, and then you also add 1 for the stop. Call it stop loss, whatever you want to call it. Leave this type as the integer. And what do you want for your default stop? 20, 30, 40. Go next to the conditions and actions. I've got this strategy set to only run from 9:30 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. If you want to test 24/7, then we don't have to do any of these times. But if you do want to test between a certain time of day, you'll go to add. I'm just going to click on edit because I already have the condition. Out of all these folders, you'll go to your time folder, select time series, and you want this time series to be greater or equal. Greater or equal. On this next column, you go to the time folder as well and you click on time value. And for the time, you just select whatever time you want it to start at. So greater or equal to 9:30. And for the second condition, same thing, you go to the time folder, select time series. You want it to be less than whatever time you want it to trade to. So I've got this going till 10:20 a.m. So from 9:30 to 10:20, that's when this strategy is running. And the only other condition I have, I go to my indicator folder, choose one of my Ninza indicators. I've got the Solar Wind selected here. And then somewhere there will be something called a value plot under the plots section. See, Solar Wind has a signal trade, signal trend, a few other signals. I want the signal trade. This is taking all 3 different kinds of signals that the solar wind prints: the trend, the pullback, and the strengthening. So for shorts, I want it to be less than the numeric value of 0. You'll find the numeric value in the miscellaneous folder. Click on numeric value. Make sure the numeric value is at 0. So less than 0 for shorts. It's looking for a -1. So we want less than 0. That's for the shorts. So if all these conditions are met, we want to do the following. Number 1, we want to enter a short. So you'd add this condition. I'm going to go to edit because I have already added it. So in your order management folder, enter short position. And if you want the strategy to paint some kind of signal, we can add a drawing object from the drawing folder. There's arrow up, arrow down, diamonds. I've got this set to a vertical line, so it will draw a red vertical line when the short is triggered. So this is one set. We click the plus sign down here to add another set. I've already got one over here. This is for my longs. But what I can do with the first set is I can click on this, I can right click, I can copy that, I can go over to the new set, and I can paste it. So for the 2 different conditions that involve the trading times, that'll be the same. And then if you copy and paste this one to the new set, you'll just want to go in to edit it. And we'll leave everything the same. We want the Ninza Solar Wind with the value plot of signal trade. But this time we want it to be greater than the numeric value of 0, because these long signals are printing a +1 in their code. So we want it to be greater than 0. And now this will recognize all the bullish trend pullbacks and strengthening signals. And we'll add a condition down here under the order management, enter long. And if you want a marker, you'll add another condition and choose which kind of marker that you want. I've got this drawing a green vertical line. Click next. Now we've got our stops and our targets. So you go to add. I've already got one, so I'm going to click edit. Add a profit target. Click on that. You want to make sure this is in ticks. And for the value, go to this window, you click set. You want the value to be a user input. Go to your user input folder and choose the user input that you named. I had mine named profit. And if you remember, that was from the inputs and variables tab over here. So I also want to add a stop loss. Same thing. Stop loss. Make sure your mode is in ticks. And for the value, you want your user input of whatever you call your stop loss. And that's it. Click next and click finish. And now you can go to your NinjaTrader control panel, select new. We want a new strategy analyzer. So now I have a new strategy analyzer. I can choose my strategy right there. Under backtest type, I can choose optimization. For the parameters, now I have my profit and stop. Let's say I want to test a profit between 10 and 50, and I want to test a stop between 10 and 36. I choose my instrument. I'll choose the NQ. You can choose which time frame, minute, tick, range. Definitely do not try Rinko or Ninza Rinko. Those are not back testable. You will get completely ridiculous results. But time-based works well. Range charts work well. Volume charts, tick charts. Choose a start date. I'm just going to choose this last week, Tuesday through Friday. I always like to include commission, so I click that. Then go down to the Optimize tab, optimize on max net profit. If you click the max net profit, that'll try to find the parameters that made the absolute most amount of money. For the optimizer, go down to genetic. This little tab will pop up, geo properties. Open that up. Change the generation size to 50 and the generations to 10. And that's it. Now we click run. And you can see for last week on the NQ with a 50 tick profit level and a 36 tick stop level, we were 51% profitable. It took 40 trades almost, trading 4 days, trading 50 minutes a day. Max drawdown, $1,200. Total net profit, $1,300 last week in just 4 days, trading one contract. So we could test out different time frames. We could test out different instruments. I noticed the ES seems to have a little bit less trades, less drawdown. We can click run on the ES. ES was about the same. I made $1,000 with $1,000 drawdown, roughly 50%. So if I want to optimize some of these other parameters, I can go to the strategy that I just created, click Save As, call it something new, Ninza Solar Parameters. So now we have the same strategy that we were just working on, except now I can add a few more things. So it's everything that we had from the last one, but for this solar wind condition, the signal trade, open this up by clicking Edit. And real quick, I just want to show you also, if I click on the Ninza Super Trend, here's my value plot for that. Here's the signal state. I could choose the signal state for the Super Trend Pro and have it less and greater than a numeric value of 0 and test all the signals for the Super Trend Pro. And same with a lot of these other Ninza indicators. But we're working with the solar wind right now. So we're back on the solar wind here. Everything is as it was before. But look at all these different parameters we can mess around with. I'd say the multiplier trend and the multiplier stop would be a good starting point to try and optimize. But we could change any of these different parameters. But let's focus on these two right now. Multiplier trend and multiplier stop. You can see the defaults are 2 and 4 right now. So I'm going to go back to the inputs and variables tab over here. We're going to add multiplier trend. The default was 2. We'll have a minimum as 1. And we will add multiplier stop. The default with 4, minimum of 1. So now we can go to next. Here's our conditions and actions. We want to go to the solar wind signal trade condition. Click edit. So now under the parameters for the offset multiplier trend, we want to set this to a user input of multiplier trend, what we just created. And for the offset multiplier stop, we want to set this to the user input of multiplier stop. Click OK. So we want to do this for our long conditions as well. So we click on the solar wind condition, edit. Here's our parameters. Instead of 2, we want to set it to the user input multiplier trend. Set this to the multiplier stop. Click OK. Click next, and finish. Now we can open up a new strategy analyzer. Backtest type, go to optimization. We'll select our new strategy that we just made, Ninza Solar Parameters. Now we have 2 more parameters that we can optimize, the 2 that we just created. I'm going to do the same minimum and maximum for the profit I'll raise the stop up to 40 max. For the multiplier trend, I'm going to try between 1 and 20. For the multiplier stop, I'm also going to try between 1 and 20. Going to choose the NASDAQ 1 minute again. Same start and end date, just the last 4 days, last week. Include commission, optimize for max net profit. Change the optimizer to genetic. Change the genetic properties. Change the generation size to 50. Generations to 10. Click run. And this will give us the data for the last 4 trading days last week. Trading the first 50 minutes of the New York Open, 9:30 to 10:20. And it will show us the optimized values for both the trend and the stop. And then once we have these settings, we can change them in our indicator. So our indicator will print the same signals. And you might want to run this strategy analyzer every week. Get constantly updated settings so you have the best chances of being in flow with the current market conditions. Even though things could go totally haywire at any minute. Past performance does not guarantee future results. So by optimizing these 2 factors, we gained an extra couple $100. But the main thing I'm noticing is, wow, look at this drawdown. Instead of $1,200 drawdown, it's only $200 drawdown. And instead of taking 40 trades, it only took 15 trades. And instead of only being 50% profitable, it's 80% profitable. We have a take profit of 36, stop of 40, and the multiplier trend changed to a 14, and the multiplier stop to a 9. So just changing these 2 numbers, we were able to get a much less max drawdown, bigger profit factor. There's even some results that came up with 100% winners last week. That's only going for a profit of 10 ticks with a pretty big stop, so it's not something I'd be interested in trading necessarily. But this one was close to a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. And I know I said don't test Rinkos or Unirenkos or Ninza Renkos. However, I did just get the King Renko bars to try out. And supposedly these are able to be back-tested. I've never tried it before, but let's try it. I'm going to change this brick size to be a little bit bigger here. Just going to double that, see what happens there. So using the King Renko bars, 24 brick size, 8 trend threshold, we got some way bigger profits, way bigger max drawdown too. I'm not sure this is something that I would want to trade personally. I would have to test this out in market replay to see if the results were similar. But from what I see so far, it's not anything like what you get when you test Renko bars. Like, Renko bars will come up with crazy amazing profits, 90-some% profitable. You know, you'd probably be up 70,000 for this week. It's just they don't accurately backtest. So this looks like it could be potentially accurate. So I'll probably make some updates about that in the future. But this chart, I have the solar wind on. See, I can go into the settings now. I can change the multiplier trend to 14 and the stop to 9, just like the results we got in the strategy analyzer. Completely change the chart. So this is what we'd be trading off of. Here was the market open for the first hour. So 9:30, we had a pullback, strengthening, and it was done here. We had 1, 2, 3 winners right there. Looks like at least 2. And if I want to double check that this strategy is firing off exactly when these signals are firing off, I leave the solar wind indicator up. I attach my strategy with the appropriate parameters, and I'd load up some market replay, make sure I choose the market replay account, And since I had my strategy set to paint those vertical lines when a signal was generated, so when the market replay is running, I can double check and see that when one of these solar wind indicator signals prints on my chart, that I also get a corresponding vertical line print from my strategy to make sure that it's firing at the same time. And from the back test I've done, it works just fine. The setup with that strategy that I just showed you how to build. But as always, I would try everything out for yourself, not just take my word for it or anyone else's. So that's how you build a strategy to have a strategy built based on your Ninza indicator signals. You can use it on most of their indicators. You can attach the strategy to your chart and have it auto trade. You can use it in Strategy Analyzer to find some better settings for the different parameters that your indicator offers. Lots of things to play around with. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and got some good ideas from watching this video. If you did, please hit the like button. I've got a new coupon code for Ninza. It's just MonkeyMan. It gets you the absolute best price regardless of whatever sale is going on. I think they have a 35% sale going on now. But if you use the code MonkeyMan at checkout, you get an additional percentage off whatever sale is going on at the current time. So you'll get the best price if you use that code. Links are in the description. Best of luck in your trading.